And there we go. So, so some of the things, Paul had asked me that didn't think he was going to be back today, and asked me if I would do another webinar for him today. And I told him, sure, I will help him in any way I can. So I asked all the MSIs, some of the topics that their students were having some issues with that they would like me to go over. I don't teach like Paul. I'm not very good at going off the cuff. I write based on how I feel and what I like to write about. So I like to teach basics, which is everybody's going to have their own writing style. So, but I will teach you the basics on how to get your system up and running. So that's what we're going to do. So I had some really good things that people wanted to talk about. Some people needed help with their menu, taking pages. All right, please mute yourself. So taking pages in and off your menu, or adding pages into your menu. So we'll be going over how to do that. Also, we'll be going over how to create a response magnet to put on your website. Let's see, what was the other one? Broken link checker for when you are ready to apply for Google AdSense is a good thing. A lot of people do not quite understand how to use that broken link checker once they get it up and running. So we'll be going over that. Hello, Linda Marie. And the other thing we'll be going over is how to create, if we get a chance, how to create templates for your posting your ads and how to actually go out there and post your ads. I do click on the ads when I'm in posting my ads and I see one that comes across that's part of our program. I do click on your ads to look at them and see how they present. And some of them are really good. I do notice that a lot of people are only using one photo because I keep seeing the same photo over and over. If you've used all three, you should have a rotating photo anytime somebody clicks on your article. So make sure that you are utilizing all three photo options on your ads, especially when you're using classifieds for free. Some of the options, other programs only allow you to do one. So just do the one, but make sure it counts. If you have Canva, go in and make a meme with your link on it or a logo. If you're in Rory's memes program, make sure that you're using one of those because you always want to make sure that they have a way to come back to your website. And a photo sticks better than words most of the time. So what we're going to do first is I want to go over something really quick. Those of you that do have computta, because I have one of my students that has computta, we want to make sure that you are utilizing that because it is free Bitcoin. And you want to make sure that you are downloading that. Make sure that get with your instructor to get the workarounds for certain what do you call it? Virus protections. So you want to make sure that you get with your instructor. We do have some workarounds that Miss Kathleen came up with that is really good for those. So when you come in and log into your computta, and this is where you're going to log in, you will see right here, this is your referral link right here. This is the link that you want to put in your Smartminer page that you have under your free Bitcoin, or it's under your cryptocurrency. It's also under your free your free menu options. So look for anything that says Smartminer. This is the link that you will use, and you need to make sure that it's your referral link. The other thing you want to do is make sure you come right here and click download this Smartminer. And it's going to download, and once it downloads, it's going to be actually in your computer program, and you're just going to go to, if you're in Windows, go to your Windows, pull up your program, and then once it's there, you'll pull up your computer program wherever it's stored and download it. Once it's downloaded, you should see an icon on your desktop that's going to look, come on, minimize for me. It's going to look like, where's my computer? Did I move it? Oh, my doggy just came in. I'm sorry. I think I pinned it. My computer, I pinned over here to my toolbar. But most people will actually have an icon here. I just pinned mine over here. So when you go into, you should have, it looks like a cloud. So if you have an iCloud or anything like that, where you just download your information to, it's going to look like this. And then you want to make sure you click on it. Depending on your antivirus, it's going to give you some questions like, do you want to, come on. It's going to ask you, do you recognize this program? Do you trust it? And you just want to click yes. Do you want like this one? Do you want to allow it to make changes? All that means is you're going to let this computer see what's in there, or this program. You click yes. Mine, I have a safety where I have to double click it. And then once you do that, then it's going to start running, and it's going to pull up a taskbar, and it should show your mining that's going on. And if you have any signups or referrals that has signed up and they have their computer mining, then you should be able to see theirs. So you should get a taskbar that looks similar to this, and it's going to have what's going on currently. So I actually have 3 of my referrals that are on now that are mining. This is my device, and this is my device. You can have up to 5 personal devices hooked to your one account that you can mine for your personal self. I have this one going at 100%. I have another one that sits on my table, which is this one. I keep it on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at full throttle. So you want to make sure that you have that. You do need a 64-bit minimum memory storage to run computta on your computer. If you have a Mac or an Apple computer, you cannot run computta on it. That does not mean you cannot sign up for computta. You just cannot download the Smartminer. So those are 2 totally different things. So you still want to download your computta. You still want to get that referral link. You just cannot mine Bitcoin on a Mac or an Apple computer. So that's my freebie for today. So make sure that you do have this downloaded, because you are collecting money daily. Right now, Bitcoin's at $9,000 a bit. So you want to make sure they won't let you cash it out until you get to 3 right here. So once you cash that out, then you'll have a pretty good chunk of change. So just let it mine, let it sit. You'll get a notification once it gets to a certain point that you can go in and cash it out or move it over to your wallet, whichever. And this has actually been fluctuating between 8 and 13. Please mute yourself. Between 8 and 13,000. So you want to make sure that you are keeping an eye on that. Okay, whoever just unmuted, could you please mute? Thank you. All right, so you want to make sure that you, are doing your computta mining and have it running as often as you can. If you have an extra computer laying around, make sure, you have that up and mining. All right, so now we're going to go to, close this one out. So now we're going to go here to my page. And we're going to pull up. And it depends on where you are. If you are on your site where you are actually looking at the picture of your site, your home page, and you want to go to your menu options, you have 2 different ways you can do that. You can actually, when it comes up, you're going to have your toolbar across the top, and you have your 3 options that you can choose from, which is your dashboard, which is what most of us work in. It has all your functions in it. If you want to go straight to widgets, which is where you put codes for your banners, you put codes for your Google, you put codes for your Response Magic. This is where you would go straight to there. Then if you have our menu options, and we just want to go straight to our menus, that's where we can go. If you are in your dashboard and you want to go to your menu, then you would click on your dashboard, and then you would go to Appearance, and you would click on your menu options from there. And then once it pulls up, it's going to actually give you your menu structure, which is here in the middle, which shows you exactly how your menu is showing on your website. Then you have your options over here, which is your menu pages. So these are the most recent pages that you've created. So if you just completed a page and you're like, I want to put that page on my menu, that will be the first page that shows up on your most recent. If you want to view all your pages, you just click on view all, and it has every page that is in your website currently. That is active, not your drafts, just your active folder, your active pages. If you want to search, you're not real sure what page you want to add. It's been a while, but you know you want to put it in there. Like some of us take our holiday pages off our menu structure when it's not that particular season, but it's still in our pages. So we might want to bring them back, you know, pull them back up. So that's what you want to do. You can just come here and search and type in your keyword, you know, either Christmas, holiday, or whatever, and it'll pull up all the pages with that name, either in the meta description or the name in the title. So you will have those pages there. Now, one thing you have to remember is that a page and a post are two totally different things. You cannot move a post into a page, and you cannot move a page into a post. They're two totally opposite things. The post appears only on your home page. Pages are throughout the rest of your website is your pages. The only thing you can do is copy and paste a page into a post. That's the only thing you do. But once it's there unless you remove it. Same thing with the post. If you inadvertently, you know, put your page as a post, the only way you can get rid of it, you can't just transfer it over to a page. You actually have to copy it and put it in a page category or create a page. Just to remember, whenever you create a new page and a new post and you're transferring items over, you put your title in first before you copy over your content. If you copy your content first, your website, because it's computer generated, sees that you don't have a title, and it will generate a title for you, and it's usually a code. And you're going to see these wonky titles up there full of, you know, characters and letters and stuff, and it's just because you didn't put your title in first. So whenever you're going to transfer a page or a post, make sure before you paste in your content that you put your title in first. Then transfer your content over and your page will be okay. And you won't have to go in and change your slug and change your title because it has those wonky characters in it. So what we're going to do here is say, so here's a new page that I created, and say I want to put it in my dating site. So I will just click on here and I will click add it to menu, and it will put it at the very bottom of my menu category. And then once I do that, I will just scroll down to the bottom and I will drag it where I want it to go. And I usually have mine in numerical order. So this one's going to go in relationships. I think that's what I have it in dating, which is going to be towards the top. So then I'm just going to grab it here and I'm going to move it. It doesn't matter if it goes off screen as long as you don't drop your toolbar as you're dragging it, it'll still be up there. And I'm just going to keep going till I see where I want to go. And should be getting close. Here we go. So dating and relationships. So I want to put it there, I think. And then I want to look and see how I have the other ones basically categorized. So since I want to put all my dating together, here's one I want to move this one and make it actually a subtitle. And then there's another one like these two. This could actually go, let's put the romance up here by itself. We got the dating. These two can actually go with this one. And we got two subcategories with that. So that's how you would go. And then make sure before you leave, please mute whoever just came on. So before you leave, you want to go and click Save Menu. And you want to watch your little icon up here. Make sure it's turning. Once it reverses its turn, you should get a little note saying that your menu has been saved. Which right here, your menu has been updated, so you're good to go. But say I want to do something, you know, a couple of times. So I already have this one here, which is your quick, easy meals in minutes. I actually have that one under my foods, my cooking food and wine. So say I want to put it in another category. I already have it there once, but I want to do it again. All I have to do is click it again, add it to menu. It's going to put it down at the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to drag it up to where I want it to go. And this one I want to put in my seasonal and promotional, because I'm going to start putting some holiday treats in there, some cooking tips, some quick and easy holiday cooking stuff. So I'm actually going to go up here and put this under my holidays and promotionals page. Right here. So I got it under cooking. So I'm going to put it right here, and I want it to be a menu by itself. So I make sure it comes all the way over, but not here. I don't want it to be, if I bring it here, then it's going to be its own menu category, and I don't want it to be that. I actually want it to be a subcategory under this menu. So now I'm going to go down to the bottom, because you have a save menus on the top and bottom of this page. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to click Save My Menu. Okay, and once it's saved, then it's there, and my menu will be saved there. So now it's telling me my menu's updated. And then, like I said, there are some times that we want to make sure that, you know, we want to take something out. Just because you remove a category or a menu item off your menu, you do not remove it out of your page. You're just taking it out of your menu structure. It's still in your system. It's still active and live unless you yourself go in and put it in draft. So just because you remove something off your menu structure, it is still an active page in your website that can be searched. So if I want to come here and say I'm going to remove this one, because I actually need to update that a little bit, I'm just going to click remove. It's going to take it off my menu, but that page is still in my system. Then I'm going to come here and just hit save menu. And then once that tells me my menu's been updated, and there it goes, menu has been updated. Then I'm going to come back here and visit my site. Okay, and then I visit my site, and I can see here that my arts and entertainment, my movie categories is gone, which is good. If I come here to my cooking, food, and wine page, I can see my quick, easy meals is there. But then if I go to my promotionals page, then my quick, easy meals are there too. So I have it in multiple places, which is good. You just don't want to make sure that it's not in more than 2, 3 at the most categories, because Google will consider that, especially if you're going for Google AdSense. If you have the same page and multiple categories, they will consider that not original content, that you're actually duplicating your content. So having it in 2 or 3 different sections is fine. You just don't want to put it in more than 3. I always say 2 as a max, but if you have it that it can go into different categories, I would say 3 is definitely the max, because you don't want them to come in and see the same page over and over in the same category. Google does not like that. So that's one of the good things, the key things you need to remember, because they want to see relevant content and different content in all your categories. They don't want to click on a category and see the same page in every category or in multiple categories. So where do you place a tab when you don't want it on your lineup? Nowhere. It's still in your page. There's no tab. So when you come to your menu, these tabs is just pages. They're pages in your system. So when you go here and tell it to remove it, it just takes this off your menu structure. Your page is still there. So if I come to my pages and I go to my search, and if I type in movies and click on my search, it's going to pull up my movies online. Well, and see, there's my movie tickets online. That's the one that I removed. So it's still there. It's still relevant. It's still a good page. So it's still in my website, I just don't have it in the menu category for people to just readily click. They would actually have to search for movies on my website. And you want people to search. You want them to be able to search your website to see what you have out there. You don't want everything in your menu structure. Number one, it's too cluttered. Number two, people will get tired of searching through everything. And it just makes your page look too busy. So you want to make sure that it looks good. You also want to make sure that it has relevant and different pages. Like I said, change them out every so often. If you have, 10 pages in one category, that's too much. To me, that's too much. It just depends on how many pages you have in there. I don't have that many, so you just want to make sure that you have relevant content. And if you want to switch them out here and there, that's good. Because then people will come and actually, okay. So you can actually come, in your menu structure and, switch it up. Like I said, there's several of us, when the holidays come up, we will just, switch out, especially postings. You can do the same thing with posting, make your homepage a holiday page, actually bring in stuff. Like I have one that says drop a dress size by Christmas. Those ads, I was looking at them today, they're almost a year old. I got some that's in excess of 100 hits so far. And they've picked up in the last few. I actually had 4 people today go in and not sign up, but do pre-enrollee themselves for Valentis. I had 2 Response Magic signups today from people visiting my website that signed up under my Valentis magnet. So those V leads, if you're doing those, are actually kicking in right now. So you want to make sure you're staying on that. Yeah, when you have the oranges, you see this is in draft. Most of mine's in draft. It's not in green. I do stuff in green, in draft all the time. Google will accept an orange and an orange. They just will not accept a red. And I just haven't gone back and changed a lot of stuff. I've actually added some stuff, but most of my oranges are in draft. If it's not, then I've said what I wanted to say and it's good. So if I go to my menus, and I'm going to come here through my appearance, all you do is, if you want to have one to remove, then the only thing you need to do is there's actually a remove button. And if you click on your drop down arrow, you see where it says remove. You just click on that remove and then hit save menu, and it will be removed off your menu structure, but it will not be removed out of your website. Okay.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
It's on the front page that you actually come into, and it's the Yoast down toward the bottom. It used to show green and orange, and now it's just the one orange. And it's basically on my welcome page and my other page. When I go in to try to change and to make those green or whatever, it won't change. I don't know what I've done or what I need to do.
So you're talking about on your post. Okay. So if you're on your post, and you have one in draft, this is my actual one that I have everybody looking at. So if I come in here to edit, if you don't edit here, you have to edit at the bottom. That's where your edit button is on your post. You don't have an edit at the top on your toolbar. It's always going to be at the bottom of each page. Right. And so when you get down to your Yoast, mine wasn't working too well last week, actually the last couple of weeks. But when you get down to your Yoast, and my front page is fairly long. So yeah, you see my SEO is orange. It's fine. My readability is green. I'm okay with that. Okay. I'll probably go back in and fix it later. But if you click on this, you have these eyes. See, one of mine is this. Says my title's too wide. I don't have the subheading. So these are little things that can be fixed. So if you click on this eye, wherever it has the option to do that, it should highlight everything that you have, not what you're missing. A lot of people think this shows you what you're missing. It doesn't. It shows you what you have that's relevant to that. So it's telling me my key phrase density, I only have it 2 times. I need it at least 5 times for the amount of words I have in here. So if I click on that, then anywhere that my key phrase shows up is going to be in purple. So it's telling me there's one of the 2 that I have. So then I have to go up here and say, well, where's my other one? And you can see it's going to be a bit before the other one shows up. So that's just telling me, okay, out of 2 of them, I need to have it at least 3 more times. So I need to put my keyword here a few more times. So if you're showing orange or even red, go down to your Yoast, and it'll be for readability and for your SEO. Click on those, and if you have these little eyes beside it, then you can actually click on that eye, and it will show you every place that that particular option shows up. So if I want to see where all my passive voice are, I just click on that eye, and it should highlight everywhere that there's a passive voice. And that's why I said, like, right now it's not working. Sometimes it doesn't work. It could be that I just am moving too fast for it. It could be that I don't have it, you know, just whatever. It didn't work none last week. It was working good today. It was working good just a second ago.
Okay.
So, all right, so you see that right here. So, yeah. So this one is transition. So it's not showing me where I'm missing transition words. It's showing me where all of my transition words are, so I can look and see, okay, that's what a transition word looks like. So I'm good to go. So if I need to add a transition word, it will tell me that's actually passive. I don't know why it's showing transition when it's actually passive. That's why I said it's not catching up. So, but yeah, if you click on those, and if it's not working, like this one, shut your website down first. I know a lot of people, they will leave their website up, they will log out and their website's up, and then they come back and it's right where it's at. You still need to shut it down so that it can update, it can actually basically rest, and it can catch up with what it needs to catch up with. Sometimes it will actually log itself out, and you will come in and start working on your website. It will allow you to work, but then you can't save. You ever get there and you're trying to save something and it just spins and spins and spins? That means that it's logged itself out, but it's still going to let you work in it, but you can't save anything because the system itself has shut down. So you will actually have to log yourself out of your system and come back in. You will probably lose your stuff. So I always copy my pages when I see that happen. Copy the whole page, put it in a Word document. I save them anyway, just in case something happens to my system. I don't have to go back and recreate my pages. I already have them there. They're just in a backup in my Word Dropbox. So all of my pages are there, my original pages. And then once it comes back up, usually if it's sit there for a while, your autosave may kick in. You just have to look at it and see what your autosave is, and if it's saved all the material that you have. If not, then you just copy and paste what is missing. But I always shut my website down every night so that it can reboot itself and refresh itself every day.
Okay. Good thinking.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Because mine hadn't worked, like I said, every time I tried to do something, and I know I was doing something, but it wouldn't change. So maybe it was the same thing like what you had said the last couple of weeks. It just wasn't working right. So.
Yeah. And just, you know, and if you have to, if this little eye isn't working, make sure you have all of your updates. I know that there's a lot of people, they'll go in and they'll see where it needs to have an update, and they will click on the main update without doing the little updates. So before you do your main updates, go and make sure that it doesn't have the little updates where you have to do the plugins and the other ones, the securities that comes with your system, not additional plugins, because we don't do that, but you do have plugins for your system that are security measures. So before you do the major updates, make sure you do those little updates, because those are the ones that keep your website and your functionalities going. So if you do the mass update first, sometimes those little plugins don't get updated. And then they get overlooked. So you always want to make sure if you have anywhere that says it has an update, check and see what the updates are. and then look down at the bottom because it'll tell you what kind of updates you have, and do the little ones. Let's see if I can get it because mine's all up to date. If you have that PHP, which means your website is missing the latest updated securities, it will not update at all, and you will have an old system. So right here, you always want to make sure you check your plugins and your themes first before you do the major update, because a lot of people come here and they'll say, oh, I got to update, and they'll do this big update and forget about the little plugins. So do these first and then do your major update. Then that way everything is synced together. Because sometimes if you do this major update first, these will get lost. So make sure you do that first.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. The cache, you can. I don't do mine that often, but you can go in and delete your cache if you need to, if your system's running real slow. But usually if your system's sluggish, that's probably the reason, is you have not shut it down to let it reboot itself and do any kind of manual updates or automatic updates that it's required to do. It's just like any other program, any other computer, especially if you work in it a lot. That's why I have to shut mine down every night. I'm in mine every day. I create at least a page a day, try to anyway. I usually finish it in a couple of days, but I at least try to draft or start a page every day. So you want to make sure that you are shutting your system down. You are logging out of your website so that it can do any kind of background work that it needs to do to itself. Okay. Yes, please make sure you're muted if you're not asking a question, because every little noise gets recorded. So please just be courteous. I appreciate it. Alrighty. So, so does that? Yes.
Sheila,
yes.
when you log out, don't you have to then log back in? Because I'm of the habit of just, saving my login and not having to do that every time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't have, because if you've saved your login, which mine is, so if I come here and because I have it here on my dashboard, on my toolbar, and I have everything saved. So when I actually go to log out, I just, log out and it shuts down my system completely. But when I come back in to log in, I just click on this and it pulls me up to my login, and I just put in the first initial of my name and it populates it and I log back in. So if you if you saved your login information, you don't have to put it back in. You just put in your first initial, your name, and it should populate and you'll be good to go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All righty.
So this is Blake.
Yes.
In what you're saying.
Are you going to behave?
Am I going to behave? I'll behave.
Yes, sir. All right, go ahead.
I just don't quite understand their directions. I mean, everybody's following the directions, and it doesn't say to update the little ones first. So I'm just saying it's good that you bring these things out to us, because we're just following the directions, and it doesn't say to do the ones that you consider the small ones. So if anybody had any rapport back to the web page, what's the WP WordPress, it would be make their directions a little more clear.
Yeah, and see, and because that's one of my trainings, background is computer science. So and a lot of it, and it was like I was telling one of my other students the other day, we all work in an environment where we are taught exactly what we need to taught. We need to do the job we need to do. And we just kind of make it understood that everybody is computer savvy, when technically most people can only work a computer to do the job at hand. They don't know a lot of the ins and outs. So I do, and I want to make sure everybody else does it. That's just how I think. The little things, if you don't take care of the little things, then it makes a big problem. So I'm very tedious when it comes to things like that. Show me the little stuff first, and I can build from there. So I teach my students that way. Do the little things first. Same thing with your website. Do the little things first. You want to do it in steps until you get to the point. Don't come in and say, oh, I want to have a 300-page website, and then get upset when you don't get Google approval because your website's not where it needs to be.
Not up
You
to
know,
par.
you want to make sure that you are comfortable in your writing. You want to make sure that you're comfortable in yourself first, because if you're not comfortable in yourself, it's going to reflect in your writing. And you need to be comfortable with your website. So yeah, go ahead.
And a further on, just another comment is with acronyms. You know what the acronym means if you're studying and versatile in that subject. But with people that are new to the subject, acronyms mean nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just leaves you sitting there, well, what does CRL stand for?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, if you can get with your instructor or do like I do, I Google stuff all the time. You can ask Debbie. She's my instructor. If I couldn't get in touch with Debbie, it's like, okay, I know she's busy. I'm going to figure it out on my own. That's where these videos and everything, we have YouTube, Google, the videos, the webinars. There's so much training available at your fingertips that if you can research any of that first and foremost, and then if you absolutely cannot figure it out, hound your instructor and say, look, I've went through every resource I can find and I cannot understand this, or I can't get this. I need help. And work from that point first.
I would suggest that if I were writing a piece, the first time I would use the acronym, I would spell it out. So that as you continue to use the acronym, they understand what it is because you've already explained to them what it is.
Yep. And that just comes, you know, like I said, we do have some new teachers. We have some new instructors. Everybody's new. Everybody has their own way. And that's why Rory actually has our instructor training, so that we can all get on the same page, so that every student is taught the same. And it's going to be difficult because some people are not teachers. And that's why we have the student classrooms for those that, you know, can't reach their students the way they need to be reached. We have our classrooms. And if you feel you need to be in that classroom, get with your instructor and say, hey, I need to get in that classroom. And they will evaluate it. They will send it to me and Miss Linda, Miss Kathleen, and we will evaluate and see if you've followed all the procedures, which means, have you utilized every video? Have you utilized every instruction manual that we have? Have you done everything that can possibly be done? And if you still can't get it, then yeah, you can come to our class. We just ask that when you do come to the class, you be respectful of the instructors as well as the students there. Not everybody comes in at the same level. Not everybody leaves at the same level. So don't come in automatically assuming, oh, you've been here a year, you should know. Trust me, it's not as easy as people perceive it to be. And I don't want to let anybody feel like they can come in my class and feel bullied or picked on, because I will personally kick that person out that causes any student to feel that way. I want everybody to come in with a means that, hey, I want to get something out of this. This is my business and we need to let it grow. And we're going to make sure that happens. So
absolutely.
All righty. So our next thing that we're going to go through, if everybody understands and is comfortable with our how to add menus, then we're going to go to our Google Ad. No, we're not going to do Google AdSense. We show computta. I'm trying to do my checklist. Hold on. Did that. We're going to do our broken link checker. I was going to do the plagiarism, but that takes a little bit long. So I'm actually going to do my site because I went to my, like I said, I got a lot of hits today and got some signups. So I was like, well, let me see what people are doing. So if you want to see how many hits you
find out how do you find that? How many hits
so that's what I was going to, if you want to see how many clicks you've had, your dashboards on your affiliates, that's how you know. So you go to your dashboards And this one is what I had yesterday. So I had 13 clicks yesterday. I had 757 impressions. Impressions means 757 people saw my ad. Out of that, 13 people clicked on it. The thing that I wanted to see was this right here. So I had 15 clicks that went to invalid links. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? You know, what are my links that are not valid and why? So if you click on this, it's going to pull it into an Excel spreadsheet or a spreadsheet. And it's going to tell you, depending on what program. I have Excel, so it puts it automatically into an Excel spreadsheet. And so once I pulled that up, and it takes it a while for my Excel to download, it shows me a bunch of things, the statistics on that. It tells me the advertiser, it tells me the advertising link, it tells me what page it's on and what system it came from. So it gives me all kind of information. And usually what I do is I'll go through and I'll print it so that I can go back and look at it and say, okay, I need to pull up this page and I need to look for this link with this number in it. Okay, come on. So if you have, when you come to your CJ, you want to, and they're the only ones that show this. So this is how it pulls it up in Excel. And like I said, depending on what kind of program you have, it'll put it in that format. So it tells me the name of the link, and I just open it up. You just grab your line and drag it. So it tells me the company. It gives me the ID number, which will be the last number at the end of your link. It tells me my advertiser, who it's for. It tells me, you know, my affiliate status. So this is actually an expired link, which means that it had a date on it, and I didn't pay attention to the date. I thought I got rid of Boskov. Those that had Boskov, we had it, then they took it away from us, and now it's almost impossible to get approved for them. I thought I took all their links, so apparently I got one link here. And this is the thing right here. It tells me how many clicks. So I had 3 clicks on this one today. And the rest of them were 2 and 1. And so then I click here and it tells me what page this link can be found on. So this is my pet care. This is one I just did. So it's actually, it tells me right here. So this is a banner that I put in because there's a size. So I know that one's a banner. So I got to look for a banner that I put in. So what I want to do now, so I know that I already have it printed out. And see this ad right here, this ad's almost 2 years old and I'm still getting hits off of it. People are coming in looking at it because they're wanting to decorate. They're wanting to, you know, update their furniture. It's getting ready to be holidays, you know, hey, maybe I want a new bedroom set, you know, maybe get some new wall art, whatever. So I have that here on this page. So I have that there. So I'm going to come out of this. No, I don't want to save it. I already have it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log out of this one. And so yesterday, so this was yesterday. So if I want to see how many hits I've had this week so far, I just click there. So I've had this many, my site was looked at 5,000 times. I've had 115 clicks. So it's actually doubled in the last couple of weeks since I've, you know, the holidays are coming up, which is good. So this is actually going to start clicking into sales, which is wonderful. So the other thing I want to do is, so I'm going to log out of this. So I know I got at least 15 broken links. So I'm going to open up my site here and I'm going to come to my training page and I'm going to pull up my broken link checker. All right. So once I pull that up, and it's telling me right here, I'm going to put my URL in here. So I'm just going to type in my URL. Okay, and that security code. Oh my goodness, look what time it is. Oh, and I want this one, I want all occurrences that show up because I don't want to just the distinct one. I want all of them because I want to know every place that that link is showing up in my website. And then I'm going to tell it to click run the broken link. And it's going to take a while because I do, like I said, I got a pretty hefty size site. So I'm going to let that run. And while that's running, we're going to multitask here. So it's going to take a minute. I'm not going to just sit here and let it watch it count down. So while that's doing that, I'm going to show us how we're going to create some ads. So with the holidays, you should have your pages already up that you want to advertise. Right now, like I said, I had, what was it, five pre-enrollees today with Valentis. I had 2 people respond to Response Magic from my website, which is wonderful. So you want to make sure that you have your page that you want to do. So you want to make sure you're doing anything related to the holidays. You want to make sure you get your coffee pages out there. You want to make sure you get your wine pages out there. You want to get any kind of clothing, home fashions, toys if you have it, kids clothing, anything relevant to the holidays or after parties or adult themes that they can do. We want to make sure that we do that. I will get to Response Magic. We got 10 minutes. So I'm going to go really fast. So what I do, and I do this with everything, like I said, I'm a note taker. So I create templates for everything. So I actually have 3 different ad pages. One of them's actually about 35 pages long. So I said, I'm gonna start another one. And that one got to like 27. And then I started this one. And I date them, so I know when I started them. So this is how I create my pages. And I you put the date, put it at, this is actually a training template, but I use it as active ads. So this is one that I created on the page that I did yesterday or finished yesterday on my online dating. And I did go to Jaxie. I do have Jaxie and typed in dating. I didn't type in online dating. I just typed in dating and see what showed up. And I found my keyword, which was really good. So then what you want to do is after you've created your page, you want to put your link for your page. That was the one thing that was so good about us being able to switch from one wine company to the other one, is that we do not do direct linking. So we didn't have to go out and find all our ads that had the other wine company in it. All we had to do was change our website, and the ad changed was the same. We didn't have to change our ad unless you put that name in there. Then, if you did that, that's just on you. Don't go and try and hunt them. It is what it is. They'll come to your website and see that it's different. So you put your link for your page you created. You always want to advertise your pages to your website, not your direct link to your offer. Always advertise your page. That way it's easier to change anything that needs to be changed. Don't mention your name, like I said last week. If you read your clauses in your affiliates, your rules and regulations, it will tell you that you cannot use their name when you're advertising directly. So when you go on, classifieds for free, you can't say, hey, come here and get your, Valentas right here. Technically, they can ban you for that because it tells you not to use their name directly in your title. You can use it anywhere in your content, but you can't use it in their title, in your title. That's only for them. That is a copyright. So you want to make sure that you're not using it. So when you come to create your template, you're going to have your headlines. Now your headlines you're going to be your eye catcher. And I always try to start with at least 4 or 5 different ones, depending on the content. I might have more, and it's all going to be related to your page. The company name. You don't want to put the company name in your title of your ad. So then, and I always put my link that I'm going to be using, and then you have your description. Right now, I only have one description. I'll actually come back and write another one. And your description is going to be sort of like your meta description that you have in your website, just a little bit more extended. And you want to type that in there, and it's just going to be a catch, an eye catcher. Get them interested so that they will come and click your link. Some of these I actually have, like this one I did for my healthy food alternatives. And I got 3 or 4 for that one. And I have one for that. Here's my wine lovers. And then I have my different links that I can use this with. is my bold and beautiful plus size women. So I actually have 3 for that, but I have 2 descriptions for that. And then I have the perfect wine. And so I have 3 or 4 for that one. And again, I have 2 different ones for that. So you want to make sure that when you create your template that you have at least 4 different headlines. And if you can, have at least 2 different descriptions that you can mix and match. And then you always want to make sure that you have your link. Like with my wine, I actually, like I said, I got 4 different links I can use with this one description. I will actually come back in here and put different ones. See, I have to change this one because it all has direct seller stuff in it. But as you can see, I didn't use the name direct sellers. So I can still come back in here and change the pricing, take the pricing out, and still use this content or this ad. So then what you want to do is you want to leave the one up that you want to use. So we're going to use this one. And just pick one out. Like I can do this one, safe and easy online dating. And I'm going to come here and copy that title. I'm going to come to my classifieds for free. And see, this one I posted last night. And, you know, I already got a couple hits off of that. If we come here and look at the other page, you know, there's been hits on it all, you know, already, which is wonderful. So people are out there looking, you know, so this is a good relevant topic for people, especially with the holidays. Nobody wants to be alone for the holidays. So, you know, here's odds and ends. It's sporadic through here, but it is getting clicks. And I didn't even do all the cities in the states. I think I stopped with Alabama. I think I was getting ready to hit California. I was halfway through California and I got tired last night. So then I'm going to go to post an ad. You make sure you register for this site. You have to register. It's a free site. You have to update every 30 days or you lose your ads. You do not get notification. It tells you when you come in that you have to update every 30 days. So make sure you update. If you're advertising every day like you should, then you should update every time you advertise. I do it every month, every Friday after I finish advertising. I come in and just click on my updates. Yep, renew or lose. So then I'm just going to come here. It automatically defaults to the United States. Pay attention to where your affiliates advertise or can ship to. You don't want to advertise in a place or a city or country that they cannot ship to. So be aware of that. You could get busted for false advertising. So then I'm going to post that in there. Make sure your category matches what you're posting. Don't put it in a different category just so you can get more hits. So this one actually I put in personals. And for those of you that are getting kicked off Google Voice, this is a good place to utilize that number. I always put my number here, and trust me, people do call. I let it go to voicemail, and I do respond back to them. Be like, hey, check out my website for other things. So I put my contact number in there. If they call you one time, that shows that you have an active caller, and it lets Google Voice know that you have an active line that is not for just advertising, and it will start reset any negativity that comes through there because that one call wipes it out. So you want to make sure that you are utilizing that for other than advertising. If you have to have your mom, your brother, your wife, or whatever, call that number or send that number a text at least once a day. That will save you in good standings with Google Voice. So then I'm going to pull up my template again. And I'm going to get this description. And this is one of the sites that you can actually put your web address in the description. And I do. Some of them you can't. They actually charge you for it. So be very cautious of that. Read what it tells you. If you can't put your web address in the description, don't. They'll cost you. You have to pay for it. So then I'm going to come here and put my web address here, paste it. And then you want to upload your photos. If you, I have several in here, but if you don't have a photo, you're going to click choose a file. And it's going to pull up where do you want to get that file from. Okay.
Hilla, can you do more than one at a time, or does it only do one at a time? I tried doing more than that, but
yeah, it only will let you do one ad at a time, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So once you pull it up, I always go to my logo, my Dropbox, and I pull up my blogging pictures, and then I choose a file that I want to pull it in, and then it will actually upload that file. So I'm going to pull up my dating file. And I'm going to just grab that one. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to upload my image. And you will get this if it's busy. Just click it again. And there it goes. So usually what I do is, like, I'm going to choose pictures that I already have. And where's the one I created yesterday? I did this one. I'm going to do the other one, this one, and then I'm going to get my skeleton. The order that you click them is the order they show up. So don't just randomly click. You want to click them in the order they show up. And then you're going to come back up here and you're going to click post. And it's going to show me how my ad's going to look. And these are the 3 options that you have. This is, I created these with Canva. I'll probably come back in and do something with that one. Now, you were saying, can you post another ad? You can. This little button right here is asked you, do you want to post another ad? Well, yes, I do. You click on that. It brings you back to your original ad, exactly the same. All you have to do now is click a different state. If you want everything to stay the same, you just scroll down and hit post. You don't have to change anything. And it tells you this ad was posted in Alabama. Then you come back down. Do you want to post another ad? Yes, you do. And you do that throughout the whole thing, Alaska, and you keep going through all 50 states. Now, this is the one thing that I do is when I start doing to the individual cities, I might change where I'm posting it since I've already done the states. So like I just posted in Alaska. So then I will come back here and say, okay, I want to go to Alaska and I want to go to Anchorage. And instead of being in personals, let's do miscellaneous and not change anything else and hit post. So now it's telling me that it went to Anchorage. So I didn't change anything other than what category my ad was going into. So that's how you can sit here and do more. Yeah. So you can do on this one, it has the option to do 3 pictures. So you want to do, if it says you can do 3, do 3. Classifieds, ads, you can do up to 5. So make sure you do 5 ads on there, because they're going to rotate those pictures out. Depending on where they show, just like you have pictures that rotate out on your banners on your website. You have those pictures that rotate out in your headline. So same thing with your ads. If it gives you the option to do multiple pictures, then those pictures will rotate depending on how they come up in an ad. So if you only have one picture, they're only going to show one picture. But if you have multiple pictures, especially if you have your logo on there or some kind of reference to your website on there, then no matter which picture rotates in and out of your ad, they still have a way to get to your website other than just the ad.
Point of clarification. You mentioned when you are posting in this, I'll just pick on the state of Alaska for example, and you used a certain category for the entire state, and then you went back and posted ads in the cities that they allow you to. Are you saying that we need to change the?
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to change the category. I just do because I've already posted. Yeah, you can leave it the same, most definitely.
And it's possible that you could have more than one category that it would fit in.
Yes. Yep.
So you can do the various categories for the various cities and also for the state then, correct?
Yeah. So all you have to do, so you can leave it And then that's why I said, that's why you want multiple headlines and you want multiple descriptions, because you can go through all 5 headlines or all 10 headlines with one description and take care of your whole week. And then the next week, you use the same headlines with a different description and post it in a different category through the same states. So that's how you can get 4, 5, 6,000 ads, or do 200 ads in a day, or 200 ads in a week, you know, especially with this website. But don't let this be your only website. If you go to your Triple R training, there is actually a tab at the very top that says free ad sites. Click on that tab, and it's right here, free traffic sites. And there's a list of all the free ad sites that you can sign up for. You just have to read, because some of them are specific. Like this one, it tells you this is for Atlanta area only. This is a good one. You just have to change this one. You actually have to change your title. It will flag you if you use the same title or headline. And then like this is for Ocala, Florida. That's the only place you can advertise in there. I've actually been to Ocala. It's very small. But you're only there. So, but you have to, you know, read and see where it's at. A lot of people see eBay and it's like, oh, I can't advertise on eBay. Yes, you can. Put it in a category. Same thing with, what is that other? Craigslist. Craigslist is another place. You know, just pick a category, put your ad in there just like you would any other ad. You just on Craigslist now. Same thing if you have Facebook, go to Marketplace and, you know, do a comment, you know, or what are you talking about? Join some groups in your area that, you know, for flea marketing, for sales, for things like that. You know, you have options to advertise other than classifieds for free. If it goes down, you're stuck. So, you know, make sure that you're utilizing every option you can to get your ads and your website in front of people. Okay. So I'm over, but I'm going to go over one more thing. Let's check our broken link checker. So it's completed and it only processed 148 of my pages. I don't know why it didn't do all of them. And it found 9 broken links. Okay. So let's see what it is. So this tells me a 404. That means the page isn't there for whatever reason. And I know why, because I have these in draft. This one is a 522. I've never seen that error before. So let's see what that is. So I'm going to click on the URL and it's going to take me to my page. All right. And it takes me to my page and then people's like, okay, so what am I looking for? Here's the page that the link's on. I got tons of links in here. Which one do I need? So then you're going to come back to your broken link checker. All right. And you're going to click on this SRC. Okay. Don't ask me what that means. I used to know. I just have not had time to find out what it means. So it's going to highlight in pink what your link is. So I already know that it's this one right here, the LSM 007, which is a brunette marketing link. And so what I'm looking for is a keyword. Do I see a keyword that this will tell me about? All right, here's one right here, diapers. So this is my diapers page. So what I need to do is come back to here and I want to find the one that is talking about diapers. And it's going to be down towards the bottom, I know. So, and it's probably going to be this. So let's go to my edit page.
We're looking at your category page right now.
We're actually looking at the actual page. So if you go to your broken link checker, when it has the actual links you pull up that's broken, the first thing you want to click is your URL, and that will pull up your page that the broken link's on. And then you want to click on your SRC. Like I said, I don't know what that means. And it will show it to you in code. And then you just want to look and see. So I can see here that it's going to be, and it's going to be in pink, the one that's broken. So I can see right here that it's going to be before this sentence. The one thing that all babies need is diapers. So I need to look for that sentence. And I need to look for this that says, I love chocolate. that's where my actual broken link's going to be. So I'm pulling up my page, and I'm going to scroll down here. So it's before my chocolate. So where's my chocolate? Right here. See, I love chocolate. So I know it's one of these pictures. So then I'm going to click my picture. And there's my link right there. It's broken. So all I'm going to do is click my edit button.
Now, how could you tell that that link was broken?
Because that's the link it's showing me. If I come here to my broken link checker, it's telling me this ID number. That's right there.
See.
Yep, that's my link. So I got to look for this 931133. So when I come here.
That's how you identify it. Okay.
So there it is right there. So then I'm just going to come up here and click unbreak that link. So now that picture is no longer linked. And I think this one is good. So let's see what this link is. It's over here. So that's a different link. So this was the picture that had my brunette for the diapers. They're still having some issues with that. So then I took that link out. That should be good to go. That took care of that. Hit update. So now that's how you would view your broken link checker. So once it comes up, again, this tells you what your link is. The URL is the page it's on. The SCR is your code, and it will be highlighted in pink. So you want to look above the code for key phrase and look below the code for key phrase so you know exactly where your link is that's broken. So that's how you're going to use that code. You can't change it from here. This is just showing you where it's at. So always look for the key phrase above it, the key phrase below it, and then you know exactly what code you need to fix. All right, the other thing I knew this was a picture because it had a height and a width. So I knew automatically that was going to be a picture. So those are some key things you need to look for if you say, oh, how do I know if it's a picture or link? If it's a picture, look for the width and the height, and you should be good to go. Okay? And this is recorded. So yeah, this is recorded, so you can always come back and look at it again. So, and I updated it, so then I can just close these links. Now we're going to go to Response Magic, and I have that up under my, I thought I did, okay. Where did I move it to? Should have been under Enhancements. Yeah, there it is. So Response Magic, and this is going to be it. We're going to have to go after this one. So remember, like I've told you before, Response Magic is a two-part program. You have your affiliate program, which will be under Platinum Synergy. So if you ever pull it up and it says Platinum Synergy here, you are in the affiliate side. That means you get your links and you put that in your Response Magic page. If you want your magnet side, you want to make sure that it says Response Magic in your toolbar. If it does not say that, you're in the wrong side of Response Magic. There's two folds. You want to make sure that you're in this side of it to do your magnet. If it says Platinum Synergy, you're in the wrong one. So I'm going to come here.
Do we use the Platinum Synergy?
Yes, the Platinum Synergy is your affiliate program. That's where you get your link, your personal link, to get people to come and sign up for this part.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, so make sure you look and see. If you just have this, you want to make sure that you come here and sign up to be an affiliate. Note that you should have two different passwords. If you try to put the same password in, it will kick you out of one or the other when you try to log into it. So make sure that you have different passwords for it so that you don't get those two confused. Platinum Synergy is for your affiliate side. Response Magic is for your magnet and your own personal use. Okay? All right, and you want to make sure it looks like this, and it does say Response Magic. So when you're coming to Response Magic, if it's your first time, you always want to do create, and you're going to create an opt-in form. All right? And when you create your opt-in form, you're just going to get a blank page. And when you see here, mine says select existing list. I've created lists that I want things to go into. If you come here and select it, it's going to have a default name that just says website prospects. Leave it there for now. And I might do another one later on a Saturday class on how to actually set up these lists. So, so you want to leave it just to your website prospects, and then that'll be a list that it creates. So this one, I actually want to do one for my Mama Chief website. So I'm going to put it here so that it will go to that list when I go to put it in there. Okay, let me check this chat. Thank you, Miss Estelle, for putting that in there. If you need to get to Saturday class, like I said, you need to get with your instructor so that we can evaluate you to make sure that you actually need the extra training. And we as the instructors are the one to do that. So once you choose your list, where you want it to go, then you're going to do your call to action, which means you're going to do, and if you scroll down, you'll be able to see it as you create it. So your call to action is basically going to be your headline. And my headline is going to be, what do I want to put? And I'm going to do holiday shopping. All right, holiday shopping at your fingertips. And I want to leave it red. If you don't want it red, you can always come to your headline color. You just pick your rainbow color that you want, and then you just move your little mouse and you can see that the color changes as you get to it. I might actually do purple. I don't have purple. And then you're going to come down to where it says choose color so that it stays and you see your color changed. And check it as you go. Your call to action right here, I'm going to put all right, and that stays black, so always make sure you put it in caps so that it stands out. I'm not going to put a YouTube video. If you were doing like your wine or your Valentis page, you can actually pull those YouTube capture pages that Roy has, and you can actually put the YouTube link here, and it will show up on your Response Magic when you advertise it. It's not going to show up on your website, but when you advertise it, it will show up. But I'm not going to do that. And then it has questions as your step 3. These are your questions that are automatically populated, your first name and your last name and your email. These little red dots, you want to make sure that you highlight them. When you first come to it, it's gray with the email, the only thing that's red. The red signifies that they have to fill that out before they can leave your link or leave your form, unless they just X out of it. So you want to make sure that you want their name and their email, definitely. But then you can actually come here and choose a question that you want to put. You don't want it to get too extensive because you don't want them to think you're trying to sell them something in your questionnaire or your fill out form. So I usually asked for the state field. That way, when I reach out to them and say, hey, can I get your phone number, keep you updated, send you some text messages, then I will know what their call state is. Some people will put their phone number. I actually have the text option that I pay for with this every month, so it's going to automatically populate it. So then I'm going to get your next one. So I just put the state field, and I put that in red too. So then the next one is right here where it says get instant access. I don't want to put that. I want to say start shopping, because this is going to be that right, shopping. All right, and again, you can change the color. I want it red. That's not red. I want more red. It's more pink. Let's see how that looks. Choose color. Oh yeah, that'll work. All right. So then the other thing you want to ask, here's your questions. And it says, do you want to allow them to use their Facebook landing page? You want no, because Facebook landing page only allows for them to do their email. You could have done that up there. You want more specific information from them. So do not let them use their Facebook landing page. Since I have the SMS program that I pay for, yes, I do want to enable SMS. And it's already got my prospects where I want it to go. I want it to go to my marketing prospect because I have a whole program that I send for marketing. So I put it there on that list. Then here's the other thing you want to check out is your agreement. This is what is important because this tells you and it tells them that, hey, you're giving me permission to send you emails and text messages by you filling out my form. So if they come back and say, hey, how'd you get my information? Well, you filled out my form. So you want to make sure that your name appears how you want it to appear. Because I have one student, he had his proper name, but he wants to be referred to as his common name. So that's what you want to come in here and say. You know, if I didn't want to be Sheila and I wanted to say Mama Chief, I can actually change this to Mama Chief because that's my business name. So you want to make sure that whatever you have here is how you want to be identified. And then once it's correct, you come down here, answer your questions. Do you want to get email notifications when somebody fills out your form? Yes, you do, because then you can send them a response. Hey, thank you for filling out my form. What did you like about it? You know, send them an email, send them a reply. If you got a number, send them a text message, you know, get them into marketing, however you need to get in touch with them. The other thing is, right here is very important. A lot of people forget to do this. It says, you know, after they fill out their form, what do you want them to do? Well, I want them to shop in my website. You know, yes, they're already on a page, but I want them to go to a specific page. And since now we are doing shopping, I'm going to pull up my template. And let's see if this is the one that I have. Or I can pull up my page, whichever one is more convenient. And I'm going to pull up my, let's see if I have it. Pull up my shopping page. Or maybe send them to my wine page. Let's send them to my wine page. So I'm going to send them to one of my wine pages. So I'm going to send them right here. So I'm going to copy this link. And I'm going to come back to my Response Magic. And right here, I'm going to type in this link, paste it in. So now after they hit submit on my magnet, it's going to take them to my Wine of the Month Club. And then do I want to tell them who actually sponsored my program? Yes, I do. You always want to put this, that it came from Response Magic email. That way, if they click Response Magic, it's still linked to you. So you might potentially get a Response Magic customer. You just never know. And before you hit submit, go back and look at your magnet, because once you hit submit, you cannot change it. So go back and look at your magnet, make sure your spelling's correct, make sure you have everything in there that you want in there. Make sure it's exactly the way you want it. Your name spelled right, you got your options are in there. So once you do that, then you're gonna click submit and get code. Okay, so now you have several different options. These right here is called your squeeze page links, and everybody's going, God, what is that? This is actually a link that you can use for advertising. You can put it on your social media. You can put it, actually create a page around it and use this in a link for a word takes them to your magnet you just created. You can put it in your classifieds for free ads. You can put it in any ads, creating a template for it and say, hey, if you want more information or stay updated with my website or my blogging site, you know, fill out this information and put this link in there. And you're like, well, what's the difference? And it actually shows you how your page is going to look. This is one, this is the vertical. And if you wanted to look at the other one, this is the horizontal. So it shows you how it's going to look for people to come in and sign it. It's very professional looking. So that's how you can go about that. This is the widget that you're going to put in. So if you click on here, for those that are not computer savvy, mine automatically clicks and highlights everything. If yours does not, if you put your cursor right in front of the arrow or the greater than sign and hit Control A, it highlights your whole text. And then you can either hit Control C to copy or just just right click and hit copy. Then once you copy it, you're going to go to your website and you're going to come down here to appearance and you're going to go to widgets. And then once you get into widgets, I already have one, so I want to take the one that I have in there out. So I'm going to look for it. And so if you just click on your text, so there's the one that I have in there now. It says drop a size by Christmas. So I'm just going to hit delete, and that's going to take it off my site. And then I'm just going to click add a text. And I know I took that one from the right sidebar, and I'm going to click add a widget. And it's going to put it at the very bottom. And you go to the text side. It automatically populates the visual. We're going to go to the text. You don't need to put a title. You don't need to title it, because that title will actually show up on there, and you don't want to do that. So you're going to go to the text side, and you can see that it has codes, links, and all that. And then you're just going to paste your code in there, and you can see it's all in code. You're going to have save, and then you're going to click done. Now this is at the bottom, and I want it, let me see if I can move this thing. And I want to move it up, so I'm going to move it up. And let's see, is this the one? Yes. So we're going to go to visual and close that. I actually want it right up under my search tab, because this is for my Google. And once you get Google AdSense, you always want it to be first. So I put my Google AdSense first. I got my search bar. Always have a search bar so that they can search your website. And then I put my response magic code. So that's in there. So then I can come to my site. Okay, cancel. It says I didn't save. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So then I hit save and then done. So I don't know why it's got it way down there. And then I'm going to come and visit my site. And as you can see on my home page, I have one. It says, are you ready for the holidays? And then on my consecutive pages, I have the new one. So once that pulls up, you'll be able to see the new one. All right, come on. Okay, so there's my new one, and for some reason it didn't post the way it needs to, so I'll have to go back in there. I probably didn't copy all my widget in there, but it looks kind of weird. You see that looks weird, so I can go in there and take it off and see what happened. It probably, my internet's down or something, and it didn't pull everything over, which is, we'll get it fixed. But all I have to do is just remove it and pull it back in. And you're like, well, how do you get that? So here's how you get your response magic back. Say for whatever reason I took that one off and I want to get it back, you just come to option 3 where it says review and go to your customer magnets, and there's all the magnets that you created. So, and then all you have to do is just come and get code again. So I'm going to get my code again. I'm going to copy the code. I'm going to come back here. Let me make sure there's not another one down here somewhere. No. All right. So then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to take this one out, because that could have been that then I'm going to go to widgets. And I'm going to go to my right side content bar. And I'm going to find that code. And I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to highlight what's in there and paste over it and hit save and done. And now let's go back to visit my site. And if it still looks bad, then that means the code did not save right, and I can actually go back and delete it and remake another one. So let's check my pages and see, now it's fixed. So see, there's the new page, the new code. And it's got holiday shopping at your fingertips. And we don't know why this happens. Response Magic says it's not them, you know. But if you take this out, I've had a lot of people, they'll go in and manually remove this space. That messes up your coding. So then it actually takes out your link. So when they click on this and fill out your form, it won't bring them to your page. So leave this spacing in there until we can figure out how to fix it to where it's very small. Some people's post over goods. Most of us have this big gap in here. And so that's one of the things that you see. And it's fine. It doesn't always show up in every page. It just depends on the computer and the spacing. So let's see. If you get it on your home page, you do it the same way. You just make sure you put it on the right and the left side with the same code. I actually have 2 different codes. And you cannot make it smaller. That's just the way it is. That's why I said this extra space is actually code. If you take the code out, then it messes up your coding for them to actually click your link. Paul will put this on. Let me stop the recording. So that's all I have for tonight that we can go over. We ran out of time. So is there any questions real quick? Thank you, Miss Tony. All right, so if you have a question, just unmute. I'm going to stop the recording. I think I'm going to stop the recording.